fans, Prime Animations coming to you with June's project update. Hopefully everybody had a wonderful and safe 4th of July weekend for everyone here in the United States that celebrates it, right? Got my USA hat, got my USA shirt. I had a great time. I spent it with some friends and family at the beach, eating, cookout, you know, the whole nine. So definitely a lot of fun. Hopefully everybody enjoyed theirs as well. Let's go ahead and get into our project update, right? We're going to go ahead and talk about the accomplishments that we did in the previous month. So we'll tackle the project update. Then we'll go over some character designs that we released over the 4th of July weekend. And then we'll get into what's next. And then finally, we'll address a couple of comments that I wanted to address, or a couple of topics. So let's go ahead and jump into our project update. So what we completed in the month of June was scene 1110, which Vicky had been working on. She was able to get that taken care of. I'm not sure if you guys recall, but last month I talked about how I had to break up scene 18 due to the fact that it was so large, similar to like scene 11. I had to give it subsections to those scenes to make it more manageable. Scene 18, we did the same thing, right? And so what I was able to do was I was able to complete scene 18.8 and scene 18.4. I was able to knock out two of those little sub scenes. Not that long as far as scene goes, maybe about over a minute each, slightly, if that. But still, it's progress nonetheless, right? Neil is still working on 16A. From what he told me a couple of weeks ago, a couple of days ago, he's around in the 70% range as far as completion. He says he's still on target to complete it by the end of this month. So hopefully he'll be able to do that. We did release a new character design over the holiday weekend. We released our version of Transformers Prime Universe Barricade. So let's talk about this character a little bit. Barricade gained popularity during the movies. I don't think that's debatable, right? He was obviously a G1 character, not very well known. Maybe he may have popped up here and there, but I think he has become iconic because of the Bayverse movies, right? And in the Bayverse movies, he was a police car. And he, you know, basically stayed out. I think that was his, that's been his thing, if you will, that he was a police car. So we wanted to keep in line with the same thing. Remember, we're taking bits and pieces. We're taking inspiration from different areas of the Transformers universe, right? We talked about Stinger already 2 project updates ago. Stinger was obviously a Bayverse movie character. We've released that we're going to do Air Razor and Depth Charge. Those are 2 Beast Wars characters, right? So now we've got this particular incarnation of Barricade, which goes in line with the movie. In the current project that we have now, we've got Slipstream, who was, going back into the history, Slipstream, I think, has varied, right? I think even in Transformers Animated, Slipstream was like one of the mini-cons for Drift, right? But in the video game, she was a fembot, right? In the Transformers Animated series, she was a fembot. So we're taking different things from different areas to make it fit, but it's going to fit right. So we're not just going to throw Barricade in there just randomly, right? He's going to have presence. He's going to have personality. He's going to have character. It'll make sense why he is where he is and why he's in our movie, right? So rest assured, we are going to do all these characters some justice. Some, due to the multitude of characters, right? Some are going to get fully explained, or some, shouldn't say fully explained. I should say some are going to be focused a little bit more than others, right? In some cases, it's going to be something where it's a supporting character, but it's not just going to be random or out of the blue. For example, if we recall in Revenge of the Fallen, all of a sudden, Sideswipe is in here. The RC bikes are here. The horrible twins, Mudflap and whatever the other character's name was, they just came out of nowhere. No explanation, just there. And we got to see so little of RC, the RC triplets. And my gosh, those twins were annoying. They were like the worst things. I don't know. Anyway, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna Bayverse anything. I know I criticize Michael Bay a lot on his movies as Transformers. I think he's done some really great films. Bad Boys 2, one of my favorites. 13 Hours, wow. That was another one of my favorite. That's actually one of my favorite films that he's done. The guy can direct. It's just horrible when it came to Transformers. Anyhow, don't have me start on the tangent, right? So we are going to have some other characters that we are going to bring forth as we work on them and as we finish them. We'll post them. But again, I don't want anybody to worry and be like, oh, there's too many characters. Keep in mind, we're doing characters for both the sequel to this current project and the third film, should we get there, right? So it's a trilogy. So pay attention. I do have like a subtitle on each of these character sheets, right? So if it's for the sequel, it'll say Dinobots Unleashed. And if it's for the third film, it'll say whatever the subtitle is. I changed it a couple of times and I can't remember. Like Ultimate Annihilation or something like that is what I think I ended up going with. Actually, my kids voted on that. They were the ones who thought that was a cooler subtitle. So, all right. So what's next? Scene 12 is in progress. Like I mentioned in our last video, I'm gonna start on scene 12, which is right behind me right now. I started last week. I started literally on the 1st, and I'm about 20% done with it so far. It's cut up into 2 sections, A and B, and I'm working on them simultaneously because they're intertwined with each other, right? Sometimes in some of these scenes, A is one section, B is another section, and C is some other section. In this case, they're intertwined. They flip-flop back and forth. So I'm hoping to have it done. Honestly, guys, I don't think I'm going to finish this month because the boys have a camping trip coming up on the 3rd week of this month, and I am chaperoning for our entire. It's a faith-based camping trip, and I'm chaperoning. So obviously, I'm not going to be able to take my laptop and work at it at all. So that's a whole week lost for me as far as animation. So it's like a vacation for me. I wish I could take my laptop and work at it at night, but I really am not going to have any time. So, but I promise I will get as much done before then in the final week as possible. Probably I'll look to finish this maybe by the 1st week or 2nd week of August. If I could finish it by then I'll hold off on the July update until I actually complete that. So we'll see, but I'll keep plugging away at it. Plan on staying up late tonight, hopefully knocking out another 5% of this thing. Scene 11 and 12, Vicky's working on. Vicky's a huge Knockout character fan. She's a huge Knockout fan. So I've given her a lot of the scenes with Knockout. She's been working on. She actually, I thought I was gonna get mad. She was gonna get mad at me because 18.8 had Knockout in it. So I told her in advance. I said, "Hey, Vicky, don't get mad. I'm gonna work on this scene since it's really quick, and I'm still waiting on some other scenes to get done." So she didn't get too upset. Let's see, what else do we got here? The next character video. So we did release our character video of Galvatron. I finally got that thing to you guys. The next one is going to be Cyclonus, so I'll go ahead and work on that probably this weekend and hopefully post it by next week. So that's pretty much it as far as the project update goes. There's an additional comment section that I'd like to address. So I've had multiple fans reach out to me regarding voice acting. So I just want to make it known, number one, for this current project, all of our voice acting or all of the talent has been acquired from like years back, and we have pretty much all that we need. I think I'm missing just a couple of bits and pieces for scene 18. But as far as like the actual voice actors, completely filled. Now, going into the second project, I'm not anywhere near there. Yeah, we're doing character designs because that's easy. Anybody can step in and do that. But as far as the writing of the dialogue, that's not been done. I have essentially the layout of the story and the breakdown of what every or each scene is going to have. But as far as the dialogue, that has not been written out. I'm not even close. I don't even want to get started there, right? Because again, my focus is finishing this one. And then when we do get to a point where we are ready to have auditions, that's what we'll do. We'll have auditions. We'll announce it. I think some folks are having the idea that, hey, I can do this voice. I want to play that character. We have auditions, just like we did in the first. We had auditions, and from the auditions, we selected what we thought were best suited for the characters that we have. So it's going to be no different. Based on the characters that we release for the next film, we'll hold auditions. We're going to announce it, right? We'll let everybody know, hey, we're doing auditions, and you're able to send in an audio clip with some pre-selected lines from the characters, right? So that's how we'll do it. Again, we'll announce that. Thank you for your interest, right? But I'm getting like a lot of emails saying, hey, and another thing, I'm not going to reach out to anybody, especially if I don't know what you sound like, right? It's up to you to follow through and be aware of when we post this, right? And then audition, right? I'm not going to go out and start looking, hey, can you, especially not with having any material, right? That's just, not good sense. So even though I appreciate the enthusiasm, right, and the interest, at this juncture, we're not in need of that. We are in need of artists. We're always in need of artists. So if you do concept art, please, by all means, let us know. And another thing, you've got to have talent, right? I mean, as you can see, we've done things at a pretty professional level, right? I mean, we're not Hollywood experts, right? But I think for doing it out of like a garage type of a thing, right? I think we're doing pretty good. So you have to have a certain ability. I got an email the other day saying, hey, I'll do concept design, but I'm not really good at concept design. Well, you're kind of putting me between a rock and a hard place, right? That's like me telling you, hey guys, I'm gonna throw out an animation video of the Transformers, but I don't really know how to animate. How would you guys feel with that, right? So it's the same thing. So let's keep things in perspective when you guys are reaching out. We thank you for the help, but we need talent that can actually do it, right? So that's pretty much it, guys. That's all I have for you. Again, we're going to keep plugging away at this. I'm waiting on Jonathan. I'm waiting to hear back from Jonathan. Hopefully I'll hear from him pretty soon. And hopefully he will finish texturing the Cybertronian city so we can start plugging away at scene 11 and chomping that down. And then what I plan on doing is reshifting his focus to begin smoothing out scene 1. Audio guys are already working on the score and the sound effects for scene 1. So hopefully within a 3 to 4 month span, we should have the first episode out for you guys to view and, of course, critique. So that's it from all of us here. Thank you, as always. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your encouragement. We will talk to you next month, and be on the lookout for the next character video. Take care, guys. Have a good one.